Hello dear students, welcome to the online education of class 7 science. So in the previous classes I started the lesson physical and chemical changes. In that I explained about the chemical changes. So under that we have studied three different types of activities wherein the chemical change takes place and formation of one or more new substances with one new equations. How the changes takes place that I explained with the help of chemical equations. So to now we have come to the last part of this lesson, that is crystallization. So concept of crystallization. Okay, so dear students, already in the class 6th we have studied the different types of processes of separation. Okay, sedimentation, decantation and filtration, and lastly crystallization. Okay, so already in the 6th class we have studied about the how salt can be obtained by evaporation of water. Okay, so salt in the sea water, it can be obtained from the sea water by the evaporation process. Okay, so the salt which is obtained in this manner, it's not in the pure form. Okay, so raw salt what we get no by evaporation process, which is left behind or after evaporation of water, it's not in the pure form. So hence the crystals are very small. The crystals of salt which is formed there, it's not pure and it's very small, so it is not visible to us. Okay, clearly the shape of what shape of crystal salts are there, it is not visible to us very clearly. But since however the large crystals of pure substances, they can be formed from their solutions. So large substances of crystals of pure substances, pure salt, can be obtained or can be formed from their solutions. So this process what we call it as crystallization, the process of obtaining the clear crystals of substances, they can be formed. This process is called crystallization. So but you must keep it in mind here, so crystallization process is not a chemical change, it's a physical change. Okay, so how the crystallization process will be done? So here there is a last activity which is given, which is an example for the crystallization. Okay, so here let me explain you the process here, activity. So you have to take a cup full of water in a beaker. Okay, one cup full of water you have to take in a beaker and add few drops of dilute sulfuric acid. So you must be very careful while doing this experiment, because it's because we are handling with the sulfuric acid. Okay, it is of course it is diluted sulfuric acid, but since it's an acid, we must be very careful while performing this activity. Okay, so we have to add few drops of dilute sulfuric acid to the beaker now. Okay, so now heat the water, start heating the water here. So at that time also you have to be very careful, because the solution is containing along with the water dilute sulfuric acid. So when it starts boiling, at the moment when the solution starts boiling because of heating, at that time you have to add the copper sulfate powder slowly while stirring continuously. Okay, so when the solution starts boiling, at that time you have to add the copper sulfate powder into the solution very slowly while stirring continuously. You have to stir it continuously and you have to go on adding the copper sulfate powder slowly. So continue this adding of copper sulfate powder, okay, till no more powder can be dissolved in it. So already in the 6th class we have discussed that one concept, that is what saturated solution. So the solution reaches a condition of saturity only when no more amount of salt. Here we have in the previous that activity we have taken the salt. Okay, so no more amount of solute can be dissolved in that solution. Such a condition is called saturity, okay, or saturated solution. So same thing is here. So you have to go on adding this copper sulfate powder till no more amount of this solution powder can be dissolved in the solution which you are heating now, right? So now you have to filter the solution. So what you need to do, you have to filter the solution. So after you filter this solution, you have to allow it to cool. Okay, so later on when it is cooling, you should not disturb the solution. So filter the solution, allow it to cool, and do not disturb the solution. Don't disturb the solution and let it cool. Leave it for cooling, allow it for cooling. So now again filter the solution and leave it for cooling. Okay, don't disturb it, right? So now after its cooling process is done, after some 1 hour or 2 hours, go and observe the solution here. Look at the solution, what is formed there after some time. So can you see the crystals of solution, crystals of salts or a copper sulfate formed over there? So you will see the crystals of copper sulfate formed here after the process of cooling. So this is how the crystals of copper sulfate is obtained by the evaporation process, heating, then later on cooling process. This is the finally leads to what? Crystals formation. Okay, here it's a physical process came it in mind. So earlier it was solution is changed into crystal form, so it's a physical change. So dear students, this is the end of the lesson physical and chemical changes. So under this heading in this lesson we studied about the physical and different chemical changes, and we also identified changes that we observe in our surroundings, so whether they are physical or chemical changes. So if they are reversible and irreversible, then they are physical changes. So if there are new substances formed, so if there is a change in the shape and size of the state of the object, then it's a physical change. If there is a formation of new substance is there, then it's a chemical change. Dear students, I hope you have understood this concept, and this is what the end of this lesson, physical and chemical changes. So in tomorrow's class, let's go for the weekly assignment. So the exercise part I'm going to give it as a weekly assignment, and let me continue tomorrow's class. Thank you and have a nice day.